I'm Dan Drake. This is Visitor Network TV. Our guest today is BrianDeBasio. Brian wears a number of hats, but the one he's here with today is that of the Nantucket Rotary Club.
Yes.
And I understand some things are happening at Rotary that are exciting and good for the community, and love to hear a bit about them.
We're a club of about 60 people, started in 1950 on the island, made up of business and community leaders, some active, some retired. Mm-hmm. Our newest program that we're working on in the development is called the Nantucket Oral Health Care Project. It's about the fight of caries disease, and a lot of people don't realize that caries disease is basically tooth decay in simple terms. It's a bacteria that forms that's in our mouths, and it creates it feeds on the sugars that we ingest in our foods and beverages, and with today's foods and sugary snacks and sodas, it's very prevalent in young children. And I believe the numbers are like about 60% of children in the 5-year-old range have the disease, and it's tooth decay. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately today with our healthcare programs, dental care is normally not part of a program that's offered in regular insurance. And a lot of working families can't afford dental care and preventative dental care. And caries disease creates, I think some of the numbers, like over 100 million hours of school time was lost on a study they did a couple of years ago, just of children suffering from tooth pain that could not attend school in the United States alone.
So how is Rotary going to try to address this here in Nantucket?
We're working with people in Nantucket Cottage Hospital. We have a meeting on November 7th with community leaders and healthcare professional leaders to put together a program of a preventative health care for young children.
Preventative oral health.
Correct, oral health.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, Nantucket's water, most of the water in this country is chemically treated, and it's with fluoride as well as other chemicals, and we have some of the best water in the country, but unfortunately there's no chemicals added to our water.
Fortunately or unfortunately.
Unfortunately. So for young children, fluoride is the major preventative of caries disease. Right. And caries disease is an acid that forms in our mouth that erodes our tooth enamel. So we're looking at a program working together with dental people in the community to try and come up with some type of a preventative care program for families that don't have the insurance, where we'll provide oral exams as well as fluoride treatments during the course of a year. I believe it's anywhere from 2 to 4 simple treatments a year help prevent the disease in children.
You're talking about elementary school age?
Elementary school, yes. Young infants up to 12 years old.
Up to 12, well, so it goes into middle school.
It goes into middle school as well, yes.
That's 600, 700 kids?
Yes.
So,
now,
maybe
what
more,
percent of those don't have insurance? That's all the things we're looking into, and how serious the problem is. I mean, we've met with several dentists on the island, and the problem is very serious here in Nantucket.
Are the dentists behind this?
Yes. And we'll know more again. Our first meeting as a group with community leaders and the healthcare people is going to be on November 7th at the new town building.
What kind of resources is Rotary going to be able to devote to this?
Well, we are a service organization. I said we have about 60 members that are active in the club. You already have a big scholarship program. We have
presumably that's going to continue.
Yes, we are. We want to continue the scholarship program. We want to focus. I mean, part of our scholarship program, and we donate about $25,000 to $30,000 a year to the scholarship program. I mean, most of the monies we collected during the course of the year, the various events we have, go into our scholarship fund. We are a minor participant in the scholarship program, and what we're looking at doing is seeing what this project will take in terms of resources, and having to up our fundraising efforts as well as possibly shift some of it towards this project, because we feel this is something that's not on the island right now. I believe last year there were over $800,000 in scholarships to the high school seniors that were donated from various groups and charitable organizations.
I mean, I don't want to scare anybody, but theoretically it's possible that you could redirect your scholarship resources to this program.
Some of the resources, right, some of the resources, not all of them. Yeah. I mean, we donate either volunteer work or the actual funds we donate to things like Our Island Home. We do Meals on Wheels every Friday. We have volunteer drivers for Meals on Wheels. We're part of the Athenaeum Fund. We do donations to that, to the American Legion and VFWs. We have a lot of different charities on the island that we participate with, and most of what we collect is from people living and working on the island. We don't have a lot of outside resources with the big fundraisers and charities that are here during the summer that take advantage of the summer people that are here. It's mostly money's raised from people living and working on the island and in the community.
Would this program take place in the schools, or would the children go to the dentist's office, or hasn't that been decided yet?
We haven't decided that yet. I mean, in the schools, there's different particulars. I mean, John Bucky, who's our principal of the high school, is also a Rotarian. We're looking at the best venue to do it. There are some clinics now that are put on. I know there's one at the new school that's done on an annual basis, but it's done once a year. And again, this is the type of program that has to be perpetuated during the course of the year in order for it to be a true preventative program.
Let's focus a bit more on Rotary as an organization, and how is its health?
Rotary's health,
oral health or physical health or mental health.
I mean, Rotary International. It's some interesting trivia about Rotary International. I mean, Rotary was first started back in 1905 by a business leader named Paul Harris in the city of Chicago, and it basically started as a networking group of business and community leaders. They had weekly meetings at each other's offices. It was basically a rotating schedule of meetings. That's how the club became known as the Rotary Club, and its members Rotarians. I mean, it is the first service organization in the world established way back in 1905. We're in over 32 different countries worldwide. We have over 100 million members. Our motto is service above self. We are a service organization. It's people that live and work in the community, that want to perform service work within the community, within their home, within their various religious fields. I mean, we're non-political, we're non-religious. It's just a matter of helping out the community and the different needs of the groups within the business community, as well as people living in the community as well.
How's Nantucket? When was this chapter started?
Our club was started in 1950, so we're celebrating our 63rd year. We have about 60 members, active. A lot of retirees are here, business retirees, as well as active members of the community. I mentioned our high school principal's a member, our police chief. There's different attorneys and business leaders that are members of the club. We have an active group of about 15 to 20. We do service work around the community. That's our major motto. I mean, we have fundraisers throughout the year. I mean, we're known for Ms. Nantucket, which was celebrated 10 years last year.
I did that once.
Yes, a lot of fun.
Well, I guess so.
And our monies are raised from within the community. Our scholarship program is our biggest program. I think our next largest one, we have an arbor program where fifth graders have a science project planting trees that we provide. We also help Meals on Wheels, the Salt Marsh Center.
Do you have a reasonably steady group of applicants to get in?
We don't have a steady group of applicants coming in. I mean, Rotary is taking, as far as a club, it's like a lot of other clubs, it's gotten to a certain point where it's matured. We are actively looking for new members, people that want to do service work within the community and care about the community. I mean, what got me to join Rotary when we moved up here 5 years ago is 90+% of the money we raise stays on island. I mean, we do like one international project a year, which is very minimal, but out of clubs and nonprofits, 90% of what we raise during the course of a year goes back to the community. Where most clubs, it's 65% or less as far as of monies they collect that is put back in the actual charities that which they're responsible for. And that's really what got me interested in the club. It's a great group of people, and we do a lot of volunteer work around the island. And I've just got qualified for the Nantucket Wheelers program, where we've got bicycle wheelchairs for our seniors at Salt Marsh Center and Sherburne Commons, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, Dorothy Creech put one great program together, and I'm happy to be a volunteer for it. I haven't driven anyone yet, but I'm qualified now.
Maybe I'll test you. Brian, thank you for sharing this with us, and good luck to you and the Rotary and getting this program up and going.
Yeah, we meet every Wednesday at 12 o'clock at the Fairgrounds Restaurant. If anyone's interested in we have guest speakers every week. Most of them are people from within the community talking about things going on the island, as well as some of the different organizations on the island. We just had our Holiday for Heroes chairman come and speak with us recently, as well as the head of the from the hospital. So please join us. You're welcome to come. It's open to anyone interested in coming to one of our meetings.
Thank you.
We have lunch and a discussion, and we hope to see you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. Thanks for asking me.
BrianDeBasio.